21 died in the Kenyan hotel massacre, but lives were protected by the man in the balaclava.
This is Christian Craighead, an SAS operator who charged into the unknown, pulled civilians from danger, and stood alone in the face of terror. But who is this man behind a mask? Why did he go rogue? And why is his story still splitting opinions within the military? At around 3 p.m. on January 15, 2019, Al-Shabaab militants targeted the Dusit D2 complex in Nairobi's Westlands district. A lunch-hour suicide bombing at the Secret Garden restaurant was followed by a coordinated armed assault across multiple buildings, one of them the Dusit D2 hotel. The attackers behind the assault were members of the militant group Al-Shabaab. According to Kenyan officials, they were young, well-educated, and deeply radicalized. They lived in Nairobi in the weeks leading up to the attack, but remained very secretive. One was reported to have told a local he'd be moving out soon, just days before the attack. The lead attacker was later identified as Ali Salim Gichunge, a Kenyan national with suspected links to foreign fighters. Al-Shabaab said the assault, codenamed Operation Jerusalem Will Never Be Judaized, was revenge for the US recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The Recce Company, an elite unit inside the Kenyan General Service Unit, was sent in to neutralize the attackers alongside Kenyan police. However, the situation soon spiraled into hours of chaos. Here, we see the attackers methodically making their way through the complex, calm, deliberate, weapons raised. They're not rushing, they're hunting. This wasn't random chaos, it was cold, calculated terror. Every second they remained inside meant more lives at risk. Craighead was in Nairobi training Kenyan forces, off-duty, unarmed, with no mission. He would go on to save over 700 lives that day. Born in 1976 in Newcastle, Craighead joined the British Army at 16, earning 14 service medals over nearly 3 decades. He rose through the ranks, from the Parachute Regiment and Pathfinder Platoon, until he reached the apex, 22 SAS, where legends are forged. There, he would lead high-stakes, covert operations across Iraq, Afghanistan, and beyond, earning countless commendations, including the second-highest British Valor Award, the Conspicuous Gallantry Cross, granted after his actions on this day.
A friend of mine who was in the complex called me and was like, Chris, there's a complex attack going on. I'm not armed. I'm laying low in my office. You got to come down here. I said, I'm on my way. I didn't know where it was. I'd never been there before. Put it in my sat-nav and went.
When the attack began, he didn't wait for permission. He grabbed his rifle from his car, donned his balaclava and helmet, slipped a shield patch on, and entered the fray alone. In video clips captured by local media, we see him escorting terrified hotel guests, dressed in jeans, body armor, and with calm determination, all while other Special Forces teams converged. Craighead is credited with eliminating at least 2 terrorists, direct hits during room entries. Kenyan forces later confirmed all 5 attackers were neutralized. Craighead has since written The Wrong Wolf, a children's book metaphorically inspired by his journey, masked hero turned protector. He lives in the US, working in security and serving in private elite roles, reportedly even for President Donald Trump. But his real legacy isn't politics or publishing, it's a single act. He didn't wait for permission, he didn't plan to be a hero. He saw people in danger, and he acted.